Must be nice to be old, because you can wear like a Band-Aid on your face for no reason. And also you can make noises and people just accept it, where you just be like, ah! So I'm single. No, I'm single. So girls will send me pictures of their boobs sometimes, and it's the best. It's the best. That never happens to my married guy friends. I shouldn't say it never happens. My married guy friends, their wives will send them pictures of their boobs, but it's always with a note that says, like, I think my rash is back. So girls will send me pictures of their boobs, and then I gotta send something back, and this is about all we have to send. So, but fellas, women don't want that. So put something in the frame if you're gonna take a picture of it that women actually like. Put like a scented candle down there. Or like a gift certificate for Sephora. Yeah. Or like a bigger dick. Something. Women are sensual creatures, you understand me? So they don't want the organ. They want a hint of sexuality, fellas. So if you got abs, take a picture of your abs. You know what else women like? Women like this thing. Whatever this is, the ramp. Yeah, the on-ramp to Dick City. For the black girls, the D'Angelo muscle. Huh? Yeah. Yeah, this is romantic. This is like The Notebook. This is A Walk to Remember. This is Alien 3. I watch documentaries. That's my only hobby. I watched this really good Lance Armstrong documentary. It's called The Armstrong Lie. Anybody see it? All right, it's fantastic. One guy. Fantastic. Going to the movie, we all thought about Lance Armstrong, which is he's a piece of garbage. But now that I've seen the movie, it's a little more complicated than that because, all right, he won the Tour de France 7 times on drugs every time. But here's the thing. He also raised $100 million for cancer research. Say what you want about the guy, but he figured out a way to do drugs for charity. That's something. And it must have been hard to resist, too, because if someone came to me and was like, Neal, you can cure pediatric AIDS, but you're going to have to do a ton of cocaine, I'd be like, let's help some kids, huh? So I live in California, and in California the law is that we can't talk on the phone and drive, we can't text and drive. To talk on the phone and drive, we got to have the hands-free device, but my hands-free device broke recently, like a year and a half ago. So we all have the same plan pretty much for not getting pulled over. Here's what we do. We'd be driving along, talking to our friend, look over, see a cop. Then you gotta yell to your friend like, yo, there's a cop next to me, just hang out for a second. Same plan? Yeah. They'll never catch us, these bitch-ass cops. Texting and driving, also illegal. That I gotta say I agree with though, because texting and driving is some mind-bending shit, isn't it? For real, 'cause she'll be driving along and be like, you know what, let me just quickly text my friend here. You look up and you're like, wow, was I driving that whole time? That shit was dangerous. Fuck. Because when I looked down, I was on the highway. And now I'm in my garage. Hey, where are we on Obama? We like him? You vote for him, brother? You voted for him? Yeah. Bro, you vote for him? Yeah. Every brother I know voted for him. Did brothers even need to punch the ballot, or you could just walk in and be like, all right, put me down for my man? Bitch, you know what the this is. All right. I like the dude. I voted for him, but in some ways he's like America's rebound boyfriend. You know what I mean? Like, we just want to be able to call George Bush and be like, yeah, we're with someone else now, George. And get this, he listens to us. And he doesn't just attack people for no reason. And oh yeah, did I mention he's black? Click. Yeah. You know, the other thing is he gets blamed for a lot of stuff, but I feel like 70% of the stuff he gets blamed for is Bush's fault. Yeah. Yeah. It's sad, because it's just another case of a brother being in the wrong place at the wrong time. Getting accused of some stuff he didn't do. America's like, freeze, put your hands against the White House. It's like, it was George Bush and Dick Cheney. They just left. Yeah, and they sometimes I follow the administration pretty closely, and they say, like, you know, he's too insulated against his critics, but he relies on Sasha and Malia and Michelle to keep him humble. But that might keep him humble. But you know what would keep him really humble is if Sasha and Malia were white. Because they're like 12 and 14, they're sweet girls. But if they were white, there's no one meaner on earth than 12 and 14-year-old white girls. They're like the meanest little bitches on the planet. Because now he comes home and he's like, Sasha, Malia, study hard, get no good school. And they're like, yes, Daddy, we love you. But if they were white, he'd come home and be like, Sasha, Malia, study hard, get no good college. He'd be like, for what? You ruined the economy. There's not going to be jobs when we get out, you jackass. We're going to Cancun. Hopefully you won't wreck America while we're gone, dumbass. Oh, look, Sasha, it's Daddy's birth certificate. Psych, you don't have one, foreigner. Look, these computers are too powerful, am I right? Just these phones and computers are great, but they're too powerful. We're all like Roman emperors now, just on our computers all day. On Facebook and YouTube. Don't like. That I like. Incoming call. Ignore. We gotta figure this out, because we have people giving these that are not qualified. Because I was on YouTube, Beethoven's Fifth Symphony, dun, 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 like the most famous song of all time. 10,000 dislikes on YouTube. I'm not kidding. That many people are like, your music stinks, bro. And I know music. I'm from Tampa. Thumbs down. Anybody here married? Really? Here's what I think, ladies. I don't think you need men anymore. Ladies, I think you spend most of your lives in your own heads, thinking about cute things that you're gonna do in the future. And basically, guys are just props in that. And you like a lot of lead time to think about this cute shit, too. That's why you're planning ahead so far, ladies. Well, you'd be like, hey, can we go to the Botanical Gardens 3 Sundays from now? And we're like, sure, babe. And in the back of our heads, we're like, hopefully I'll be dead by then. It's so that you can take the full 3 weeks, think about how cute you're gonna look, and you don't even care about these places. You don't care about the Botanical Gardens, or sailing, or wine tasting. You go to these things for one thing, and one thing only, ladies. You gotta get a picture of yourself looking cute. As like a receipt or a proof of purchase that something cute happened and you were the one who did it. Fellas, we can be in the picture, but it's for her, looking cute, so that she can post the picture online, so that her enemies can see it. Yes. She wants her enemies to see it and be like, shit, this bitch is cute. The economy's awful, isn't it? You know what drives me crazy about the economy is when they talk about it on the news, they act like everybody's rich. You notice that? Well, they'll be like, global economic meltdown. Is your money safe? What do you mean, the $43 I have in my checking account? It should be okay. Thank you. Then you turn the channel and they're like, has the value of your property gone down? Huh. I don't know. Let me ask my goddamn landlord. You know what the worst part of having a landlord is? People think it's the money. It's so not the money. Worst part of having a landlord is having to call the landlord.
bit of an exaggerated title, isn't it? For a guy who rents out rooms to strangers for money? Landlord? Like there's something medieval about the whole thing? Whenever I see my landlord now just to mess with him, I'm always like, my lord. My lord, I come to thee from the kingdom of apartment 4J. My lord, if you wouldn't mind taking off your cape, I need you to unclog my toilet.
Yeah, so fellas, you know, we gotta empathize. Empathize with your girl, tell her she's cute. She'll be like, oh, I wasn't even thinking about it. She's thinking about it. Don't even. Selfie. And then, ladies, we need empathy in a whole nother direction, because I don't think you understand what it's like to be a dude. Because I had a girl recently ask me, she goes, what's your type? I was like, I don't really have a type. And she goes, why not? And I go, because I never get to pick. It's never up to the guy. It's up to the girl. Girls are the buyers. Men are the sellers. Basically, me and every guy in here are pretty much dick salesmen. In fact, you know what? I'm a used dick salesman. No payments till June. Low miles. Leaks a little bit in the summer. I just got turned down by 3 women in like 10 seconds. As a guy, it's about average. Basically, a guy's entire life is just like, and then we die. That's what our life is. A party is basically a guy's like, and girls like, I'm freezing. Yeah, guys get rejected constantly. That's the thing. Like, that's why we can't have feelings. It's too much dick to sell.